Spooky! Hello, we're back and we're very comfy today because I wanted to be comfy today. No makeup, the works also, but look at my cup. I got this for Christmas. Make sure it's not open. It just says just a girl who loves books, and then it has like little book things on it. How cute is that? That's good. Happy New Year's Eve, everybody. Hello everyone, welcome back to my booktube channel. Today's video is going to be our first video of the new year. Happy January, like I said in my always chaotic little intros before my intro video. It's New Year's Eve today when I'm filming this. So you guys won't be seeing this until we're probably like a week into January by the time you're watching this. But Happy New Year, everybody. This is our first video of January of 2026. It is going to be a great year. Personally and book-wise for this channel, I have a lot of fun plans for the new year. We are going to kickstart that with the beginning of the year book tag. Last week's video was our end of year book tag, as chaotic as it was, and it was great and it was fun. But now it's time for the beginning of the year book tag. I'm so ready for this tag. I had a lot less trouble filling out the prompts for this one than I did with the end of the year book tag. Mainly because the end of the year book tag is a lot longer. So I also got these questions from Lyra Reads. I get everything from her, like I said in last week's video. That woman is my inspiration. I love her. I've loved her for years now. I hope to one day meet her. As of right now, I just live vicariously through her and project that onto this channel so I can amount to at least a little bit of the success that she has. But I love her, so the very least I could do is steal her questions. She's done this a few times, just like I said for the end of year book tag, she's done this a few times. These questions might be a little old. I'm not sure. I believe I got all these questions from her 2025 beginning of year book tag. But anyway, yeah, enough yapping. On to the questions. So the first one is, how many books are you planning to read in 2026? All of these still say 2025 on them, but how many books are you planning to read in 2026? We know this. 50 books. I feel like it's the most doable for me to where like I could actually, it's something that I still need to strive and work towards, but it is also doable. Like I read 40 books in 2025, so I definitely feel like reading 50 books is, you know, it's definitely something that I can get done. It's not like 100 books, or it's also not lowballing it to where I'm like 20. So I feel like 50 is a good amount for me. Possibly on my Fable, I will be putting 2026 goal as 50 books. That's it for the first question. Next question is a book you are likely to reread in 2026. Now I set a power play and Pucking Sweet for books that I want to reread in 2026 for my end of year book tag. But these right here are two books that I actually do want to reread because there's more books in the series that's coming out in 2026. And I want to be as, not caught up because I obviously read these books already, but I want to remember everything. And that is Taming 7 and Releasing 10. As painful as these books are, a lot of people when Releasing 10 came out, they were reading Releasing 10 and then also rereading Taming 7 and doing like a tandem read. I don't know if I'm gonna do that just because I kind of like the feeling of discovering things in Releasing 10 that you kind of saw in Taming 7 rather than like reading them at the same time, you know? But I do see myself rereading both of these just because we're possibly getting a new Claire and Gipsy and a new Lizzie and Huey book in 2026. So, duh. It just feels kind of like a given. So, like I said, even though these books are incredibly painful, I want to reread them, especially Taming 7. Because I read Taming 7 at the end of 2024. So, I want to be as caught up as possible and remember every single thing I can about Gipsy especially and about his story. And this book takes place in present time. Releasing 10 takes place before Binding 13. This book ends where Binding 13 is starting. So I just need to reread them. You know what I mean? I need to reread them so I can remember as many details as possible. And so that when it comes to reading the potentially 2 new Boys of Tommen books that we're going to get in 2026, I know everything. You know, I remember everything. So we're going to reread these 2 in 2026. once we have some sort of announcement to when the next Boys of Tommen book is going to come out, you best believe I will be starting Taming 7. A book that's on your priority TBR for 2026. There's a lot, but this book is probably on my top because I was so close to reading it in 2025, but I just didn't. And I also feel like it's a priority because there could potentially be a new book for this series coming out in 2026 or maybe even early 2027. So who knows? I don't know much about the series or much about like the release date for the rest of the books in the series, but I know it's going to be a 5-book series. Yeah, yada yada. Empyrean. Empyrean's on my priority list for 2026 because I had it on a TBR for like October, I want to say. Lo and behold, I got into a reading slump and I'm still low-key in that reading slump. I'm reading books, but very, very slowly. But January, we have to lock in, bro. We have to lock in. I have been so down bad with reading lately. It's just been the worst. Like I said, we're gonna lock in. Honestly, I might listen to these just because I feel like that'll be the best way for me to actually get through them while I'm in this weird limbo with reading, is listening to them, and I have a good amount of Audible credits to use up. But yeah, Fourth Wing is on my priority TBR. Next question is actually a little bit of a funny one. I mean, it's not funny, but it's funny. And it's an author you're done with in 2026. I did not have an answer for this in the beginning. When I first started thinking about it, I was like, I mean, there's no authors that I've read that I'm really like, oh, I hated this, that I never want to read another book by them. Even books that like I've DNF'd by this author or I didn't like, I'm still like willing to give them another shot. But then I thought of the perfect answer. Jessa Hastings. As hard as it is, this is the only thing I'm going to say about this topic. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I will never read another book by that author again because of so much that has been going on with this author the past like few months. I just can't do it. And it's so incredibly hard because Magnolia Parks is one of my favorite series of all time. That entire series would have been included in like my 15 favorites. It would have been the answers to certain prompts for the end of year book tag. Every single book in that series is 5 stars to me, but I just can't morally, as a person, not as a reader, but as a person, read another book by that author because they've just proven time and time again that they're not a good person. That's all I'm gonna say on that. I can mourn the loss of my favorite series because it was one of my favorite series. That series will always hold a special place in my heart, but I just can't read anything else by that author ever again. That's all I'm gonna say on that. But Jessa Hastings, that's who I'm done with in 2026. Moving on. Something new you want to read in 2026. Romantasy. Fourth Wing, ACOTAR, Romantasy in general. I just want to tap into that because I don't know what it is that's been holding me back from reading Romantasy, but I just have not. And I need to get my shit together because I know I'm missing out on so many good fandoms that I just like can't relate to because I don't know anything about fantasy. So we're gonna lock in. Next up is a popular book you want to read in 2026. Now this one is another one that I actually have a book for, yay! Devil's Backbone. I've heard so much about this trilogy the past like few months and I want to fucking read it, bro. I have all 3 of them. It's apparently like a romantic suspense why choose kind of situation with crazy cliffhangers. So I'm so ready. I definitely want to try to read this soon. Devil's Backbone by Tate James. Very excited. It's Dear Reader, Watch Your Back, and You're Next. I'm looking at them on my shelves right now. As well as, I don't have the book. Let me grab it actually. The Darkverse series by Runix. This is actually 3rd person. So that should be fun. But my bestie, Emily, got me this book for Christmas and she put it on my TBR for January. You guys will find out more about that at the end of January. But she put this on my TBR for January. So I'm going to try my best to read it in January, but the Darkverse series by Runix is incredibly popular. It's like a very popular series if you want to like get into like dark mafia books. I'm very excited to start it. Hopefully I like it. Next prompt or question is most anticipated releases of 2026. Now I am gonna make a whole video dedicated to my most anticipated releases, so I'm not gonna talk about it too much. But I will say my most anticipated is what we're gonna get of Boys of Tommen. We'll just keep it at that because like I said, I'm gonna make a whole video on it. So next up, bookish goal you have for 2025. We've talked too much about this. I said this in my last video, but prioritizing my physical TBR is probably the highest on my priority list when it comes to my reading journey for 2026. Need to cut back on the amount of books I buy versus the amount of books I read, because I feel like I buy books way more than I actually read them. So reading the books that I actually physically have, reading my books, essentially. A book that's been on your TBR forever that you probably won't ever read. Like, I'm just gonna entirely retire these two authors, and I say retire very loosely because I've never read a single book by either of these authors and I genuinely don't think I ever will. So I'm going to either sell or give these books away just because there's zero part of me that wants to read these books, and that's Abby Jimenez and Emily Henry. Not to say that I don't think I'll like either of these books or either of these authors. I haven't done it. I've had both of these books for years, especially Emily Henry. I have People We Meet on Vacation and I have Beach Read. Never read either of them. And I have every single book that's in Abby Jimenez's Part of Your World trilogy, like interconnected trilogy kind of thing. Haven't read any of them. And I just don't ever see myself picking these up. I just don't want to. I don't want to, so I'm not going to force myself to, and I haven't wanted to ever. So I think we're just going to give these away to someone who will love and appreciate them. I think I've just come to the conclusion that to my core, I am like a heavy / dark romance lover. So books this cutesy, I just don't think I can do it. It's just not even that I don't think I can do it. It's just like, it's not first on my radar. The fluffiest I'll get is like sports romance, maybe a small town if I'm feeling a little spicy, but even those I have to like really be in the mood for them. Dark romance, I feel like I can pick up a dark romance at any time and love it, but I have to be in the mood for a sports romance or for like a small town cutesy kind of thing. A series you want to read this year, that could literally be any of them, but I think a series that I haven't started that I really do want to try to get to this year is Gods and Monsters by Amber V. Nicole. This is the first book, the Book of Azriel, and I have just heard so much about this series and about this FMC in particular, how she's such a baddie queen, and I want to meet her. One of my besties got this book for me for, not even for any particular reason. She just saw that I was crashing out about Edge of Darkness and she got this for me. So thank you, Alyssa, for getting these for me. I love you so much. But I very much want to read Book of Azriel and all of the Gods and Monsters series in general. The last book, the fourth one, which is The Wrath of the Fallen, it came out a couple months ago, so I won't be that off. I actually don't even know how many more books the series is going to be, but I guess we'll see. But I really do want to try to get to this series this year because it's like a dark fantasy romance, which sounds amazing. I definitely think that's going to be like my bread and butter when it comes to me actually falling in love with fantasy and getting into it and actually starting it. I think dark fantasy is going to be where I'm at just because I'm a dark girl, like I said. Auto by authors for 2026. Now I'm just going to list some because that'll be easier. Lee Rivers, Rena Kent, Chelsea Curto, Liz Tomfordy, and Candy Steiner. Candy Steiner, I want to really, really badly get her hockey romance series. I think it's called Kings of the Ice. Lee Rivers, because fucking duh, bro. Also, I'm on her street team, so I need to try to, in general, be as up to date with her books as possible. But also just because I fucking love Lee Rivers. Next up on my radar is The Web of Silence duet. I think I'm going to read those before I finish reading Psychotic Obsession. Rena Kent, just because Rena Kent's been an auto by author for me for like the past 2 years, and I just don't think I will ever stop reading her books, especially with her new side of her readiverse that she's starting. I want to see where it goes. I don't know if I'm going to continue the trilogy that has Kiss the Villain in it, just because the second book didn't seem all of that interesting to me. So I don't know if I'm going to read that, but I'm definitely going to finish the Viper trilogy and then whatever else she has on her radar for the rest of the universe. Chelsea Curto, because Fucking duh. She actually has a series before DC Stars. I don't know if I'm gonna read that, but anything she has after DC Stars, she doesn't have anything after DC Stars because DC Stars isn't even over yet. But anything she does write after DC Stars, I will be purchasing. I will be reading and I will be loving because Chelsea Gurto, as well as Liz Tomforty, they have just some of the best sports romances I have ever read. So go check that shit out. But Liz Tomforty as well. As soon as her spinoff to Windy City comes out, I will be fucking sad, bro. As of right now, we're getting like, not a filler book, but we're getting a book that has been highly anticipated, and it's gonna be a standalone of sorts about two characters that you meet in Windy City. I'm so excited for that book. But I'm also so incredibly excited for her spin-off series to Windy City. I don't even know what it's called. I'm pretty sure it's been announced, like what the name of it is, but I just don't remember. But I'm so excited for anything else that Liz Tomforty has planned because I miss her world so much. I miss her writing. I miss being in her books so much. Those are the 5. Book to show / book to movie adaptation you're excited about. Now, unfortunately, we are not getting another Heated Rivalry season probably until 2027. So I can't really say that for 2026. But I'm nervous. I'm nervous because this series means so much to me. It's so incredibly nostalgic and it's just one of my all-time favorite series that I've ever read. I'm so excited but so nervous for the off-campus show. The Deal especially. Hannah and Garrett mean absolutely everything to me. And so do Dean and Allie. I love Sabrina and Tucker. I love Grace and Logan. But Dean and Allie and Hannah and Garrett are like, I'm just so nervous for this series, this TV show, because I feel like, not that it'll be easy. I don't know. I don't think it'll be hard just because I definitely think like making a fantasy series would be really hard because hello, it's fantasy. So I definitely don't think making a sports romance series is hard, but making any type of adaptation that's based off of a book is difficult because no matter what, you're gonna have people criticizing it because they're lovers of the book. I just really hope it's good. I'm excited about it. It's definitely the one that I'm looking forward to the most. There's gonna be Chestnut Springs as well. Chestnut Springs could be pretty good. At Rose Hill as well. But I'm the most excited for Off Campus just because I love that series. I love the series with every fiber of my being. Like I said, I'm excited, but I'm nervous. I just don't want them to fuck it up. I'm scared. A sequel I'm excited for in 2026. I didn't know exactly how to, well, I did because I answered it. But to me, a sequel is like the book or movie or whatever that is the second. You know, it comes out directly after the first one. So I've seen so many people answer this question and it'll be like the 3rd, 4th, 5th book in a series. No. This is the second book. I'm looking forward to the second book because that's what a sequel is. And that is the second book in the Salacious Legacy series. I had a fun time with this book and I love me a good 2nd gen series. I read Salacious Players. I finished Salacious Players this year and I'm very excited for the rest of the 2nd gen series to come out. But the second book is, I think it's called The Rule of 3 and it's coming out in, I don't know, but sometime in 2026 and I'm very excited about it. These are just like such good palate cleanser books for me. They are like, I don't ever have to take them too seriously. They're just like a fun time for me. This was the only book that I actually managed to get through other than Heated Rivalry after I read Edge of Darkness. I just had so much fun with this book and I'm very excited to continue reading more Sarah Kate. I love her books. Her books are perfect for me. We're almost done. Bookish things you are leaving behind in 2025, bro. Bookish things that I'm leaving behind in 2025 in particular for me is getting FOMO, I guess, which also comes into the prioritizing my physical TBR thing because I have all the time in the world, really, to read the books that I want to read. I feel like I get so caught up in either new releases or getting recommendations from other people that I feel like I have to read those recommendations as soon as I get them rather than prioritizing the books that I already fucking have and getting to those books when I get to them. You know what I mean? So That's something that I want to leave behind, getting FOMO, because just because the hype has died down for whatever book is popping off at that time doesn't mean that the quality of the book is going to go away. You know what I mean? So like the book, it's still going to be the same book even after everyone's done talking about it. So I need to prioritize and just focus so much more on reading the books that the hype has died down for them already and I'm finally now getting to them, rather than pushing those books even farther and farther to the side, pushing them more and more on the back burner and focusing on the books that are popular at the moment. I'm just really bad at that. So that's something that we're doing. As well as bookish things that I think other people should leave behind. I've seen, God, this is going to be a little teeny rant. I put criticizing how many books people read a year. Why is this still a topic of conversation? I genuinely don't understand. Because truthfully, it has nothing to fucking do with you. Who would have thought about that? The fact that someone read 100 books in the year has nothing to do with you. It truly does not concern you in any way, shape, or form. So why people feel the need to comment on it all the time is astonishing. I don't understand. It's like the same 3 things that resurface every year. It's, how do you read 100 books in a year? Do you even have a life? Do you even have a family? How do you have a full-time job? How you blah, blah, blah. Audiobooks aren't considered reading, and dark romance is disgusting. It's like those 3 topics of conversation resurface every few months, and I'm just like, this is so stale. These things are debunked every single time, and then new people resurface with these opinions that there's like no point in even defending them anymore, because the more you defend it, the more people are gonna come back with the same bullshit 2 seconds later. So it honestly has gotten to a point where you're just like, how do you even continue defending yourself? You can only defend yourself so many times before it's just like pointless, because whoever is going to still have the same opinion no matter how many times you choose to defend it. I think people forget that the same way someone has free will to post a video about how many books they read, you have the free will to not fucking watch it. Because you know what I do when I see a video that I don't like? I'm gonna show you right now. Oh, it's my bestie. I would never scroll past one of her videos. But if I happen to see a video that I don't like, here's what I do. I scroll. Oh, it's another one of my besties. I would never scroll past these videos. But God forbid I see a video I don't like, I scroll. I scroll, or I click not interested, or I block the person, because I don't have to watch it. You curate your For You page. The more you like and interact and comment with the same stuff, more videos like that are gonna pop up. So at this point, you're doing it to yourself. If you don't want to see these videos, don't interact with them. Scroll past them. Block the person. Don't leave a comment. Don't repost it. It's like crazy to me how so many people feel the need to comment on what other people are doing. It's truly none of your business. Truly. Wow. Anyway, we're done with that. I could go on about that forever. It's so incredibly annoying seeing videos like that resurface at the end and it's always at the end of the year as well, because people are talking about their favorite books and stuff like that, and they're just like, I read such and such books. I read this number of books this year, whatever, whatever. And then there's people in the comments like, how do you read that many books? The same way you always manage to have a screen time, an average screen time of 7 hours a day, that's how I was able to read that many books, because rather than going on my phone and scrolling on TikTok for 5 hours at a time, I picked up a fucking book and read. You also don't know what other people are doing with their lives. You don't know what people are going through in life. You see on the internet a small snippet of every single person's life. So you don't know what the fuck they're doing with the rest of the 24 hours that they live in a fucking day. Even if they're posting a day in my life, there's still points in time where they're not fucking filming. There's so many aspects of people's lives that you don't fucking see. You see the things that they choose to post about. So how are you gonna tell someone that they're living the wrong way? We're done. We're done. What to expect from your channel in 2025. Or not 2025, 2026. Potentially more life stuff if you guys want anything like that. Because I can post like little day in my life kind of videos, or even just like regular vlog style videos when I'm not working, because my hours are gonna go down soon, so I will have more free time. But also just in terms of like my channel itself, reading vlogs, I'm very excited to start posting them. Very much a reading vlog kind of girl. They are hard to film in terms of like, I don't know what's a spoiler and what's not, but I can try my best. But yeah, more reading vlogs and potentially more life stuff if you guys want that. I'm going to start going to the gym again in a couple days actually. So maybe like workout stuff if you guys want to see that. I don't fucking know. So let me know. And last but not least, how was your reading taste evolved from 2025 to 2026? I don't know. I guess I'm gonna kind of change the phrasing. How has my reading taste evolved over the last year, we'll say, over 2025, over the course of 2025? I've definitely gotten more comfortable with the fact that I'd much rather read a book or a series that I absolutely fucking love and have it become a 5-star or a god tier and then get into a slump afterwards than constantly be reading mediocre books. I just very plainly put quality over quantity. I'd much rather read 2 books in a month but have those books be like god tiers than read 7 books in a month and have them all be like 3 stars. So, I mean, even though sometimes you need just like a nonsensical palate cleanser book and something that you're not going to take super seriously, something that is going to just like get you reading, but a lot of the time I want to obsess over a book. I want to obsess over a series. I want to obsess over characters. That's just who I am to my core. I am a fangirl. So I want to fall so hopelessly in love with the characters and the plots that I'm reading about. So I'd much rather do that than just mildly enjoy a book and just read it to get it done. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's it. That's how I've evolved in terms of just my reading journey in general. My taste, I don't think, has changed. I think I've gotten more and more into dark romances throughout the last year, but just in terms of my reading journey in general, that's more of how I've changed, I think. So yeah, that's it, you guys. That was the beginning of the yearbook tag. I'm so excited for 2026 and what the year is going to bring us, what the year is going to bring this channel. I need to do better about posting on Instagram and on TikTok. I've been so bad with it lately. But 2026, we're gonna start again. We're gonna start anew. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fresh. I love you all so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you have an amazing day or night or afternoon or whatever time of day it is where you are. For me, it is almost 4 p.m. I filmed quite late today because I'm actually currently still editing the video that you guys are gonna see today. I've been so bad with my editing lately, but as soon as I literally turn this camera off, I'm gonna get back to editing. So I should go do that.